Namaskar. Uh, Hello everyone. I'm Rachna Laskebagwe covering 365 days, 365 stories. Today along with us we have Harshita Narwekar madam, who is a corporator from Kolaba, BMC. We'll know more about her. Hello ma'am.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Ma'am, tell us about your work.
So basically, I represent Ward 226 from the last term that we had from 2017. But I've been working since about 2015, end of 2015-16, in this field of social and community service. We started this journey with my brother-in-law, Makran Narwekar. He was part of the, BMC. He was an independent corporator, and we started working with ALMs. And that's how we started working with ALMs in this area, which is Cuff Parade and, Churchgate areas. And we thought it was a good time to actually get involved and be part of the change, as you say. If you're being involved, then you can actually make the difference in the area. So in 2017, we stood, and luckily we were blessed to be back to be here to represent this constituency. We've done a major amount of work in the area in terms of beautification, infrastructurally, whether it be roads, pavements, streetlights, gardens, a lot of these infrastructure things which come under the gambit of the BMC, which are also day-to-day civic issues that arise for residents that need to be resolved. We also have, during the time I came in, there was the metro work that had started in 2017. So in the ward that I represent, we had 3 metro stations. So that was a big part of my job, because we were, the residents had a lot of issues because there was blasting, there was noise, there were trees that were being cut. So there was a lot of, interaction with the metro authorities as well throughout the tenure, because there were some issues or the other during the monsoons. There'd be, flooding, which was never there. So we've been very actively engaged for the last 7 years, I would say. And it's been a very good learning experience. And it's also good to see the citizen participation, because this model that we work with, it's not one individual cannot make all the difference. We work together with residents, with their active participation, and try and see the, change in the area. And that's how, the working is much more smoother and much more impactful and successful in the matter. And professionally also, just a little bit about myself. I've studied, done my postgrad in information systems, MBA in information systems from the US, as well as MS in healthcare management from the US. I was working there for a few years, and I came back and I was doing a consulting job in a consulting capacity for about 10 years before I came into public life. Now, again, once I have understood the wherewithals of public life, now I do have, practice my consultancy as well. So that's pretty much about us. And in terms of community service also, I'll just talk about a lot of the CSR and community service initiatives that we've done in our area. We've done skill-based learning for women, so that they get empowered and then they get employed, in terms of, tailoring, beautician, those are the, other segments. But we've also done geriatric care, wherein we get them to be trained in specific, field of senior citizen care, which is, we have a lot of senior citizens. We've done documentation course, we've done housekeeping courses. So there are a lot of those initiatives in the area of education and skill training, which also probably leads to employment. We've done a lot of employment camps. In the field of health, we've done multiple medical camps throughout the tenure, as well as now we have 3 gully clinics in the area, which we have CSR supported gully clinics. And now with the current dispensation of our, state dispensation, which is with Eknathji Shinde and Devendraji Fadnavis, under their leadership. And of course, Rahulji Narwekar. We have now HBD clinics as well. So we have 3 HBD clinics here that are serving the community. So it's been a very good experience, although our tenure was also the toughest, because we had COVID hit us in between, which was a never seen, never before circumstance. So, but we got the opportunity to serve much more in this capacity, and there was a whole lot of learning in that as well. So it's been a good journey overall. and we are still acting corporators, even though we are not. We are still doing the same things that we were doing then.
The areas that fall under you are very important. Say it Mantralaya, Church Gate, Nariman Point, or Gateway of India. Those areas comes under your jurisdiction. So those plays very important role when we say it as a SoBo center, politically as well as when we see it as a tourism point of view. It plays very important role. So say tell us something about them.
So actually, we are our A ward that we represent. My constituency is part of the A ward, and A ward actually is quite a prestigious, thing, because it is the heart of Maharashtra in terms of there is the state legislature, which we have the Mantralaya, we have the Vidhan Bhavan, we have all the state headquarters for like the police headquarters, we have High Court, we have university, we have of course Vastu Sangrahalaya. So this tends to have a very great, in terms of importance, and also in terms of burden. Also, we have a lot of floating population. We have a resident population about 13-14 lakhs, but we have a floating population of about 48 lakhs, which is a big number, so to say, because these many people come in and go every day to this area, because we house so many important buildings and offices in this area. It's been a privilege, of course, to represent it, but it's also challenging at the time, at the same time, because although we have such a big burden, we don't, what all of the BMC funding and BMC state funding or the BMC funding is always based on the resident population. It's not based on the floating population. So we are the epicenter. So in fact, Rahulji Narwekar, our honorable speaker, has asked that be given the special, like the NCR region in Delhi, we should also be given a special status, so that the funding can be there. In terms of, we have a lot of, we are also inscribed by the world as World UNESCO Heritage Sites. We have a lot of World UNESCO Heritage Sites. We have the Art Deco, we have the Gothic structures. So it's such a mix of all of these things. So we need special kind of allocation so that we are able to maintain these buildings. Otherwise, they also are fairly old. So the challenge is to be able to, keep upkeep of the area as well with the burden that it bears. So that's pretty much tourism. Everybody knows we have Gateway of India. So that also we need to have special funds so that we can make facilities, streamline things. If we get the same as the others, then it's not actually a very good mix.
But when we say about Colaba, there is a large number of disparity, because we have high-rise buildings at one side and we also have slums equally. So
Yes.
how do you deal with it?
Yeah, it's a challenging thing. In fact, we have people, the biggest industrialists living here, as well as we have the slum population, and it's been a challenge as well. But I would say that we've been blessed with our honorable MLA, who's also become the speaker. Has been guiding light as well, because he's a seasoned, experienced politician. So he's been big help to manage both of these constituencies. Even for me, I think initially it was a challenge, because how do you balance both of them? But I think we've now come to a very good understanding, wherein we make sure we are providing basic hygiene, sanitation services to the slums, so that at least once that is there, and a lot of these beautification, cleaning, pedestrian friendly footpaths for the high rise as well. So we try and keep both the elements balanced, and make sure that both of their needs are met. Also, you can't separate both of them. I mean, in the high rises, we have the same people who go to work in their houses. So I mean, we have to make sure that both of these are addressed. You can't ignore either of them. And basic hygiene, sanitation, cleanliness, health, all education, all of these are rights of every citizen. So that is something which nobody can be denied, and we are doing that in our best capacity.
Madam, you also work with an organization called My Dream Colaba. So what are the initiatives that you take under it?
So we work, so My Dream Colaba has been a citizen-led organization. Now we also have Colaba Welfare Association. We're working with different associations all the time, trying to basically address various needs of the area. It could be, it could be we had a, the generous donation like a CSR for our pet park, which was first in the city pet park. We had CSR for various initiatives that I mentioned, the skilling thing. This is purely CSR led based. We are not using any of the state funds or the BMC funds for these initiatives. We've done plantation through through these CSR funds that we get. Different organizations that's done with a plantation NGO. So it's basically we tie in with different NGOs, different associations for making sure that the needs of the area are met. So even whether in terms of greening, whether in terms of skills, whether in terms of health. So it's just different collaborations. We've done various, and this is a citizen-led association. So we do a lot of the things in the with this this NGO as well.
You also work for sustainability and healthcare. So tell us something about it.
Sustainability, we've done a lot of work. I would say plantation. We've done about 40,000 trees in just 2 gardens in Colaba Woods and CPRA Greens. We are doing more now in the area, which I think is a big achievement in itself, because this was the first in the city Miyawaki garden. In fact, after they saw this Colaba Woods garden is when they replicated it in all of the city and had like 64 sites for Miyawaki at that time. Now, so this is something which is a achievement. So in terms of, because it increases the groundwater level, it helps the pollution, it helps sequester carbon, improve air quality, and of course even in terms of other health non-measurable health benefits. If you go to a forest place, it really helps. It has numerous health benefits for individuals as well, for your BP, for your health management as well. So that was one of the initiatives that we've done. We've also looked at water management, water resource management through various buildings, trying to see how we can cut down their water usage. So you're just taking care of that. This thing with the MOU with the BMC, which is for the sea level rise. There's a University of Notre Dame initiative that we were looking to see how we can, kind of secure the coastline, sort of study the coastline of Mumbai and see how we can, do measures and solutions to make sure that the sea level rise, with the flooding, with the other, climate issues that are coming up, can be mitigated through interventions like mangroves, more green and sustainable interventions. So we are looking at that. The MOU that we did with the BMC, with the University of Notre Dame, they facilitated that. It was for actually getting a lot of the data sets, because every agency, whether it's a BMC, whether it's a BPT, whether it's a MMRDA, they all have data sets, but none of these data sets are on a common platform. So it becomes very difficult to kind of correlate, and everybody is working in their silos, maybe doing everything possible. Luckily, the current dispensation has a climate committee that they have formed, but to activate all of that and to understand and make sense of the data, because even if a point if there's a difference of some points, also it will be a difficult thing to predict. So now University of Notre Dame actually has 20 experts, one of them being NASA climate change head. He's the expert of the whole sea level rise head. He is the one giving the data for NASA, that's satellite imaging. We're also working with Esri, which is again very good advanced satellite imaging data. And then we also want to work with local bodies and their data. We have experts from MIT who are doing and even University of Colorado who are studying land subsidence. So basically getting all the expert opinion and trying to study the actual location specific data and then come up with solutions, so that it's not necessary that the whole coast will be vulnerable for flooding. We'll have to probably understand which is most emergent, most urgent, address those needs, because everything cannot be protected at once. So it's just a study that we are doing. Hopefully the MMRDA and BPT both go ahead with their study with the University of Notre Dame, so we can come up with good solutions.
Madam, you are also a managing director of Hospic Private Limited. It is a firm which works for healthcare. So tell us about it.
So basically, that's my profession. That's what I do professionally. We consult for new and upcoming hospitals, wherein we do their DPR, detailed project reports, wherein we do feasibility studies for market studies for them, full techno-economic viability study, wherein how much manpower, what kind of medical equipments, And then obviously the financial viability. So we study all of those things. And for existing hospitals, we do operations improvement, performance improvement, all of those things. And we also have a quality, and this as well, where we do the quality assessments for NABL and NABL and NABH accreditations.
Ma'am, as a corporator of such a prestigious area, what responsibility you feel?
Right now we are currently in just waiting for the elections, but his responsibility is, I think, it's something which we can't be relaxed, because our citizens being so active, obviously if their standards are high, if they're volunteering their time, their expectations are high at the same time. So there is a lot of expectation from you, whether it's on a WhatsApp, to deliver. And the same thing is there with the slums as well, because Touchwood, we are accessible, so they can call you up for any, need that they have. It could be a water related issue. It could be they have some kind of flooring that they want done, or it could be Aadhaar card or a ration card. So that accessibility being available to them, it does tend to get a little overwhelming at times when, especially at the time of COVID, because it was a very challenging time. But otherwise, at the moment, I think it's manageable. That's why I'm able to now do my professional thing as well.
Madam, this will be my last questions towards you. What message do you want to give your residents?
What message I want to give my residents? Basically, I would like to say that they should have, participate in governance. Like, they should come and help us, be the part of the change, actively participate and do the things which are required. And we are doing that very well. In fact, we have a hawkers committee, we have a cleanup committee, we have residents who are, they will take over one project like a garden beautification. They will come in every time. We will schedule. We'll do the designs with them. We make sure that the BMC and the contractors report to them like they are taking their suggestions. So it is a very good initiative. So I would like more and more citizens to be involved, because if you want to see changes in an area, I think it will be great if we have citizen involvement. And our representatives are there to make sure that those, the BMC cooperates, and we also are lucky right now, our local MLA being the honorable speaker, we have a lot of leverage with the BMC and the other bodies as well. So it is a good time to participate and make the change.
Thank you, madam, for sharing your story with us and being part of 365 Days, 365 Stories. Thank you once again.
Thank you.